So, tomorrow, 6 p.m. sushi party. Oh, I will wait for it. See ya! Have you ever thought how much time does it take to change your whole life? 1 minute can change the lives of millions. How do I know this? Well, I'm from Ukraine. Yeah. Basically, Ukraine is a country located in Eastern Europe that is famous for its incredible nature and culture. We have national clothes, vyshyvanka. At Easter we have tradition to make pisanki. And of course, Ukrainian traditional borscht, which is a very popular meal around the world. Actually, there are a lot of things I can say, but the most important fact right now is that 24th February was a day when millions of people lost their normal lives. And I'm one of these people. At 5 a.m. I experienced my first air raid alarm, which was quite an unusual and annoying experience. It is not every day that your country is invaded by another. At 5 a.m. on 21st February, my father and I got a call from my mom and sister that they heard explosions. But at that moment they were in another city, so we went to pick them up. Normally it takes 3 hours to get from my hometown of Vinnytsia to Kiev. But on February 24, 2022, it took us a full 24 hours. All our way I was trembling while messaging my buddies. As I was writing, I saw one message. There are explosions in Zhytomyr! When I looked through the window of the car, a bomb fell from the sky. 1 second. Boom! Running people, house on fire. This day, I received a lot of messages from people in different countries. I felt famous until I got back to my hometown and needed to spend all my days in the bomb shelter. At least we got a puppy to brighten our day. However, I wasn't really pleased to hear the explosions every day. So my family decided to depart Ukraine. After staying in the basement for 7 days, we moved to Moldova and then Italy, but without any money and support it was really difficult. But I moved to another country, and you know what? I cry every time I see news. Every time I witness a death, and every time I realize how much I miss my homeland. But moving overseas helped me realize that while my country continues to defend and struggle for its independence, many outsiders regard to the conflict as a fictitious play and misinterpret all scenario. While living abroad, I got the same question every time I say that I'm from Ukraine. Is it true that the war is there? Each time after answering, yes, the war is there, I feel really bad. As people just don't care about the situation and not interested in it at all. Many people living overseas are unaware of what is happening. Many people are unaware that Ukrainian cities that used to look this way now seem to be unrecognizable. Just look at this. It is Bucha, a small Ukrainian town with really beautiful parks, but hundreds of people perished in this town. This is Mariupol, an amazing city next to the sea, where people didn't want any help from the countries that invaded us. And another example is Vinnytsia, my hometown, which is incredible and perfect city with beautiful fountains, monuments and people. The hospital and location of the kids after school activities were both destroyed. Each of these locations saw at least 20 fatalities, most of them being children, which is really scary to look at. While the rest of us sitting abroad, people in Ukraine continue to struggle. People in Ukraine are fleeing, but many in other countries don't want to help. Support for our country is really important, but sadly lots of us who moved abroad also have problems. Please, try to understand what millions of us have gone through. and try not to be afraid of us, but try to communicate. I'm not asking for anything in particular, just your understanding. People wouldn't care if I was a drug addict or just an unhappy person. But the fact that I'm Ukrainian makes people around me extremely uncomfortable. You know, it is quite challenging to change every aspect of your life, but it becomes even more challenging when people don't want to communicate with you because of your nationality. From my experience, I can assure you that it is very uncomfortable for me too. At first, you hear how sorry people are about what is happening in your country. Then, the next few days, they ask about your experience. And after a week, they won't even try to make eye contact with you. And I can say that it actually happens every single time. But there was one girl who told me, "Don't get me wrong, you seem like a good person, but the fact that you came from Ukraine really scares me." In my head, I heard screaming, "Why? Is it such a big deal? I'm also a person. I also have feelings." It hurts me so much, as it is very uncomfortable when people say that you are unique, but not in a good way. I'm not only referring to Ukrainians. There are lots of people from other nations who deal with this as well. But please listen to me. I know, nowadays it is quite unique to meet a person who experienced the word war. But it's also quite unique to meet someone who supports us and didn't experience it, because most people don't understand us. They don't know what to say or do around Ukrainians. So, my tip, be yourself. Do your best to communicate with us. Do not be afraid. The majority of us may experience the discomfort because it is quite challenging to move abroad and begin a new life. So, how can you help my country? Let me tell you. Become informed. You should read more news and learn what is going on in Ukraine. Show your solidarity on social media. You can post information about Ukraine in your social media accounts. This way you can share with people what is going on there. Talk with us. Your mental support would be very helpful. It may be hard to talk with people about their experience, but it wasn't our fault that this has happened in our country. Even small conversation can make us happier. Help Ukrainians to learn the new language. They need to be able to support themselves. Volunteer. Sign up for programs where you can help to organizers and become someone bigger. You can participate in peaceful protests and meetings and let people know what is going on in Ukraine, which will encourage others to help. Also, if you have the opportunity to, you can host Ukrainians who have been forced to leave their country. Many Ukrainian children have left their country without their parents and don't have anywhere to go. If you can do it, you can help Ukrainian child. Donate. Right now Ukraine is going through hard times, so each dollar or euro is very important. Equipment, food supplies, clothes. So if you can donate, it would save at least one life. Finally, after my motivational speech, let's conclude everything I've said. There are still many people who continue to believe that Ukraine is fighting with itself. Can you actually believe it? Why would they? We were happy people until something happened to change our viewpoints, our nation, and us. Millions of people's lives altered in one day, just one day. Nobody anticipated that, and we still find it hard to believe. Everything that is occurring in Ukraine at the moment demonstrates the country's resilience and strength, which needs to be widely known. The entire globe must be aware of what is happening and how difficult it is. That's why support for us and our nation is very important. You are all familiar with the word war, but some of us have actually lived through it, while others have only observed and criticized it. I want all of you just to keep attention to my words and try to do at least something after everything I've just said. Any support can help. Even $1 or euro can help Ukraine. Or one share on social media can show your interest. Just remember that every Ukrainian life changed in less than a day. Thank you.